every single week, there comes a point, usually when I'm doing yoga, right here, where I glance over and under my bed, there's dust. There's like balls of dust. Where does it come from? Who knows? It gets to me. When I see that dust, I'm like, yet again, something has to be done. So part of my weekly routine is cleaning the floors of my apartment. It's something I've been doing for 10 years, for the 10 years that I've lived in here. I don't get to it every week, admittedly. There are weeks, sometimes longer, where I just don't do it because I don't have the time or I don't feel like it. And when I don't feel like it, I don't do it. It just gets dirty down there. But the thing about cleaning the floor is it is so much more than just cleaning the floor. Cleaning the floor is therapy to me, and it's something that I would like to share with you because you can leverage this practice to actually bring something into your life that helps you with problems that don't have words. We live our lives up here. This is something that we don't think about. We live here. When we walk around, we're looking on this level. When we're interacting with other people, we're interacting with them on this level. And we don't often look at the ground. We're not often this close to the ground. We're so far up that we forget about the ground. And the stuff on the ground is kind of just there and we step around it. But when you actually put yourself on the ground and you see the dirt that you have created or you have allowed to accumulate, and then you do something about that dirt, you get rid of it, you are doing the same thing in your mind. You're wiping away the dust and the accumulation of negative things in your mind. And when you pour this water that is now clean and will later be filthy down the drain and you watch it go away, there is something very therapeutic about that. And if you do it regularly, it is a profound thing. So this act for me is not just about cleaning the floor. It is an act of humility. It's also, in a way, an act of penance. That word in Tamil is tavam. And this act of penance is a self-imposed punishment. And so it's not really punishing yourself, but it's making yourself do something that maybe isn't pleasant in order to achieve a feeling of gratification. So, cleaning the floor. This is how I do it. I do it the way I call Cinderella style. Before I actually wash the floor, I vacuum everything. Because this dust, you don't want this dust to end up in this bucket. You will just be moving it around later. So the first thing you need to do is pick up all the dust. So we're going to do a quick vacuum of this space. So once the floor has been vacuumed, then I wash it with hot water and Murphy's oil soap. Murphy's oil soap is my favorite thing to wash a floor with. I've been doing it for a long time. Even when I lived at home with my parents, that's what we used to wash the floor. This is a workout. I start like this, and then I usually end up, when I'm done the whole apartment, like a sweaty mess. So tie your hair back, put a bandana on. That's what I usually do. I put gloves on and I get a rag or a sponge. So what I like to do is start in one corner of the room and work from corner to corner. I wet my cloth, wring it out, and I usually go in the direction of the wood. But what I also do is I do the molding as well. Just really picking up any dust. and regularly come back to my bucket of water. And if this gets really dirty while I'm washing the floor, I will change it multiple times. But because I do this almost every week, the floors really aren't that dirty where it warrants changing this bucket of water multiple times for a small room like this. Under the bed is the place that I feel is like the most gratifying for me to clean, because that's where all the dust settles. I think it's from like the draft patterns of when the windows are open, where the draft is blowing. It blows everything in the room under the bed. When I lived in Munich, there's a really funny story that my guitar teacher told me. He said it in German, and I don't know if I can say it well enough in German. He said, "Eine kleine Mädchen fragt an seine Mutti, Mama, was kommt mit den Toten?" I don't know if I said that properly. A little girl asks her mother, "Mom, what happens when people die?" And the mother said, "They turn into dust." And then the little girl said, "Es gibt so viele Toten unter mein Bett. There are so many dead people under my bed." I think of that. That's what I think of when I see the dust under my bed. I also think of a term that I read when I was reading a book by Margaret Atwood called Alias Grace, set in like the mid-1800s. She was referring to dust bunnies with a historic term called slut's wool. Slut's wool. And then I do all this too. All this back here. Ooh. And sometimes when I do this and I look at the rag, what gets revealed is like, oh, there's some schmutz. Well, the floor is clean, the rug is back down, and you can smell how fresh it is in here. You can also feel just that the floor is clean. Now, why hands and knees? Why with your hands and not a mop? This is something that people have asked me. You know, a mop, I feel like you can't fully wring out the dirty water that's in there. You can get some of it out. Yes, some of those squeegee mechanisms will push out most of the water, but I don't feel like it's as effective as a small piece of cloth that you can control in your hand, that you can completely wring out and wet again. A mop is also not as maneuverable into tiny spaces. Like a mop will not clean over the molding. A mop will not be able to accurately get around certain nooks and crevices. But when you have the control within your palm, you can get into every little space very quickly and easily. It's just better. It is more effective doing it this way. And I'm saying this because I know. All right? I just know. So, if you would like to try this out and you've never done it before, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean about this being therapy. This is my therapy, washing a floor, part of my weekly routine, especially now that it's getting warmer. Spring cleaning coming up. Floor washing is an absolute must. Thanks for watching.